This is the BGG Climbers list for the week ending 12/29/2021. Last list of the year for 2021. And it actually went up pretty late. It went up just early this morning. So we'll be looking at this and then hopefully have a video next week for you with the first list of 2022. Again, every week, list is put together by Michael Alexander on BGG. The links are in the description below. We're going to skip the sub 10 this week just because I didn't see too much interesting stuff happening down there. And we'll start with number 10, which is Mantis Falls, a game of trust. So this is kind of interesting. I haven't even heard of this game. I'm assuming it was a Kickstarter at some point. It's getting actually pretty solid ratings. I'm surprised I didn't see it on this list earlier, but it could just be the volume of ratings that also does have an impact. So let's take a look at this game. Like Life, a cooperative game that is only really cooperative sometimes. Interesting. So it's got a good tagline, I would say. Don't recognize the designer. Yep, Kickstarter. So let's see here. Mantis Falls is a highly interactive and strategic 2 to 3 player hidden trader game. As wary companions, players must use hand management, cooperation, and deception to protect themselves and each other on a dark and dangerous journey. Interesting. By the use of hidden roles cards, Mantis Falls is a sometimes cooperative game. A game that may only have witness. A game may only have witness, in which case the players can win only if they all escape together, or they could secretly be an assassin, carefully protecting the illusion of collaboration until the right moment to strike. Interesting. I mean, hidden trader games I've never been a big fan of. I guess it's based on Mafia and Werewolf and all those. So I'm not surprised that a game based on that might have some, new mechanisms and new stuff in it and works with a smaller player count, because with Werewolf, the more players I found, the better. Really, it creates a more interesting game. It's harder. I feel like it's harder to find the wolves or the werewolves in those cases. Anyway, Mantis Falls. So we'll see. I'm guessing. I mean, these semi-cooperative games don't tend to do great, but we'll see. And Werewolf isn't, in the top 100. Although Blood on the Clock Tower, there's some predictions out there that says that one will hit the top 100, and it's possible. It was a big game when it came out. That's number 10, Mantis Falls. Number 9, Land vs. Sea. So we've seen this for a number of weeks. It's actually jumped a little bit this week, but I still don't think this is going to hit the top 100. I just don't think it's had strong enough ratings up to this point. Yeah, it's done a little bit better this week, but it's still starting off too weak to end up there. So that's number 9, Land vs. Sea. Number 8 is Great Western Trail 2nd Edition, which I'm still wondering why it's got its own spot. I didn't think, at least to my knowledge, there wasn't too many changes other than the 3 grumpy men are now less grumpy, or I don't know, maybe you just can't see their faces. Maybe they're still grumpy. This one's going to end up in the top 100 at some point. It's really a matter of time, because it's going to, basically no one's going to even probably rate this game unless they like the first one and are, I guess, upgrading for the new components and the modifications to the game. So anyway, and I will say the components do look a little bit better in general. Cover looks better, although the grumpy men kind of grew on me a little bit. So this is number 8, Great Western Trail 2nd Edition. Number 7, Botoku. So this one is starting to make a comeback here. Still don't see it getting in the top 100. It is a heavy game. It looks really good on the table, but I think that our number 1 game this week is going to be stealing the heavy game show for this year, and we'll get to that when it comes up. And it could also be maybe Botoku looks too good on the table. I don't know. as a joke that a lot of these top games are not at least historically, top Euros haven't been the best looking games. So that's Botoku, 7. Number 6, The Crew Mission Deep Sea. So I haven't played this game yet, but I've heard it's basically The Crew, but better, which it likely means that it's going to hit the top 100. And can only say that The Crew is the only trick-taking game that I like at this point in my life. I played a number of trick-taking games. I haven't liked any of them. The Crew, I like. I like it a lot. And that's something to say. That's just how amazing of a system they put together. And even though it basically doesn't have any theme, just the way it and I'll also add to this, it's got limited communication, which I also don't like in games, but I like it here. And it it just works so well as a game. So that's The Crew, Mission Deep Sea, number 6. 5, Stelladixit Universe. So this one is like a Dixit spin-off or Dixit-esque game. It's going to do okay, but it's very unlikely to hit the top 100. There's a lot of Dixit games out there. This is just the latest incarnation of it, and I don't think we'll see. It'll sell a bunch of copies, but it's just not going to get the strong response. I don't think that maybe the first Dixit got. Although I can't even remember. I don't know if it ever hit the top 100 or not. It possibly did because it was a very good-looking game, and I think it's a good family weight game. I feel like. So that's number 5, Stelladixit Universe. Number 4, Radlands. So this thing is skyrocketing up the list. For a 2-player game that's kind of a smaller box, but it's done by Roxley, who have done amazing productions and have actually had consistently solid games that they put out. It looks like another well-received game, and it might be another 2-player game in the top 100. We'll have to see. But with average of 8, above 8, assuming this gets enough copies sold, it probably will hit the top 100 in 2022. So that's number 4, Radlands. Number 3, Uprising Curse the Last Emperor. So I think we glanced over this. This was a Kickstarter game, which I did an unboxing of last week. It's essentially a cooperative 4X game. We're gonna do hopefully a playthrough sometime in January and post that. It's not determined if it's gonna be like a solo playthrough, which means playing 2 or 3 of the characters, or a multiplayer playthrough. Just depends on how things are with COVID. So this is at least to my knowledge, the very first 4X cooperative game. It's also, I think, maybe not the first, but maybe one of the first with these acrylic standees. So you can see in here that these aren't the normal cardboard standees. These are acrylic standees. And in my unboxing, you can see they look really good. They're going to be way more durable than like a cardboard standee. They're going to stand up to a lot more abuse. And just the images are so crisp on these, I feel like, versus cardboard. So I think the artwork that they intended came off really well. Still need to play it to see how it does. But I think that it's a unique set of gameplay, or a unique game. It's also cooperative, which I feel like is a genre that's done pretty well on the top 100 in general, cooperative games. And I think it has a good production, good artwork, and it's on the heavier end, which I think the top 100, or at least the top 200, tends to favor. So this is Uprising Curse the Last Emperor. So hopefully we'll see more content on this. Can't make a prediction if this will hit the top 100 yet, but its rating is very solid. It's actually increasing, 8.88 in the last 40 ratings. That's pretty high, I think. So that's Uprising Curse the Last Emperor. Number 2 is Exit the Game Advent Calendar. So this, I didn't even know it exists. I don't know where to get it. Maybe you can only get it in Europe. But this is like, I feel like, is better than the board game advent calendars before, where you would get like add-ons to your games. This, you're actually going through kind of a overarching exit game one day at a time, which is a really cool thing to do with an advent calendar. So that is number 2, Exit the Game Advent Calendar. And number one again is Ark Nova. If you didn't, figure it out from earlier, this game is rocketing up the charts. It's going to be in the top 100. It may even be in the top 50 in by the end of the year. Maybe even in the top 20. It's getting that strong of ratings at this point. The reviews that I've seen all say this is an amazing game, and I know Tom Vassell says it's. I think he's even claimed he would never play Terraforming Mars again, which is blows my mind because I think Terraforming Mars with Prelude is a really, really solid game. I don't know about the other expansions. Like, I like the extra cards, but I think some of the stuff it adds just didn't add to the game for me. But I feel like Terraforming Mars with Prelude is like a really, really solid game. If this is better than it, I'm hoping to be able to play it this next year and just see what this game is like and uh, what makes it better than Terraforming Mars. I will say I'm not sure I like the futuristic zoo theme as much. Like Terraforming Mars was a really unique theme in terms of space themes at the time, but I think that it is kind of also a unique theme because people like building zoos. People like doing this stuff. Like there's the Sim Zoo, I think, at some point, or Sim Theme Park, which is building a theme park, which is kind of like some of the zoos nowadays. So there you have it. That is the number one game again this week, Ark Nova. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe, and please take a look at our other videos. Thank you.